Welcome to the very first AC Milan live reaction stream. The game just ended. I'm just making sure I can hear myself. I can. This means we're officially live. Thank you to all 6 of you that are already watching. Oscar, first of all, welcome to a late night stream with the boys. How you feeling?
Yeah, it feels a bit weird. I didn't even know. I haven't even been able to compose myself from that really riveting 1-0 win. Yeah, no, good start to the new year for AC Milan, points wise. But other than that, tough 90-minute watch. I feel like we'll get into why it was a tough watch, but yeah, lackluster to say the least.
Yeah, 100% correct. I also haven't be able to compose myself properly. For anyone watching, I'm on the couch. You're not at the desk. I don't have the big headphones, the big mic. Dog is sleeping next to me, and I cannot disagree with you. Much like Peachy here, sleeping next to me. I wonder, maybe if she wakes up, I'll show it to the stream. This was a little bit of a Serie A snooze fest. The question I have for
It really
you, that I was
was.
thinking about, and we can discuss more on the pod, the full pod, when we film it probably tomorrow. Do you blame Allegri for this? I was thinking about this, and look, Allegri has his faults. We know that he's not Guardiola playing beautiful football kind of manager, but it's rough. The current squad, the lack of subs, you know, Rafa on one leg playing the minimum minutes that was required of him. Loftus-Cheek playing out of position. Fullkrug getting minutes when he arrived 6 minutes ago. Do you look? We got it done, and that's probably all Allegri wants, and that's the classic football that he preaches. But do you blame him for the sort of lack of fun in football, uh, or is it just a man situation?
Yeah, I don't think you can blame Allegri. You just mentioned it yourself. The lack of subs or the lack of depth in our team. Was it about 2 months ago we were screaming for that we were missing central midfielders. Now there's an overload. We had Richie and Jashari on the bench. We have half a Pulisic, half a Leao. We have to play De Winter at center back. Strahina obviously was caught with fever yesterday late afternoon. We have to throw Bartisagi, our 19-year-old, who we weren't really necessarily expecting to play as well as he has in a left wing back position.
Yeah,
We have to throw in our 20 million euro Estupinian, who I don't think Allegri personally asked for.
definitely not.
Yeah, Liao was hobbling around. RLC, we not a friend of the podcast. He's been playing in different positions and has to do different tasks. It's we're on one leg and we're hobbling over the finish line most of these games nowadays. I feel like is it Allegri's fault? Maybe he could have foreseen this and be ready to have a type of plan B. But again, we were missing central midfielders about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. Now we're missing defenders and strikers through injury and sickness. So I can't say necessarily that we can blame it on Allegri. We've had a lot of key players playing on one leg, coming in and out of injury. We're asking Selemakers to play 90 minutes
Yeah,
every single week in,
yeah,
week out,
it's gonna be
regardless
bad
whether
when
we
he
have.
finally needs rest, if not injured. Hopefully not.
Yeah, yeah. So we can all sit here and say maybe Allegri should motivate the players to play better. But I feel like his system does work. It just comes down to some lackluster performances and some performances out of position.
Yeah, agreed. I'll answer to you in a second. First of all, thank you, 12 of you watching. We appreciate you. Please drop your comments in the chat. We'll read it all. In fact, let me start it. Forza Milan, glad to watch your first stream, listening from Missoula, Montana, USA. We love the international global reach. We did not know that there was many Milanistas in Montana. Please let us know if there's like a Montana Milan club. That would be insane. But thank you so much for tuning in, brother. Happy New Year to you.
That's sick.
John Clark, who I recognize from some other comments, so we appreciate you returning and watching our content, saying game was not that bad. They played well and kept a mid block after 1-0 lead. We conceded low blocks. I want to get your thoughts. Just start thinking about that. And then again, our friend from Missoula saying first half was so hard to watch. Glad Leao got us goal, and slid. We got to see the new number 9 fit as a true forward. Obviously, that is a big topic of conversation. I also want to know your thoughts about Fullkrug. I, I'll answer some of these and then I'll leave the floor to you, Ozzy. Yeah, the game overall was not that bad given the situation. I think I would have liked to see some more sparkling first half. It almost feels like Allegri, especially in this sort of emergency situations like you were talking about in terms of the players that are available, um, doesn't mind the slow game. What he really
Mm.
wants to avoid is to not concede, and he's happy for us to create close to zero in the first half, because there's almost like just like a he's basically convinced we can just turn it on. Did you see the stats about how many times we score on a first or second goal shot on target attempt in various games? It's like
I
11
have not.
times in 11 games
Oh,
we scored
really?
on our first shot at which is crazy. Now we don't shoot a lot,
Wow.
so we kind of need that to be this high in the league, but it feels like that, and I feel like a lot of our players and our team, you can see it. We often start the games bad. This first half was terrible, but specifically the first 10 minutes were rough. Like 3, 4 shots from Cagliari right away, a lot of lost balls. Now that's to do with an Estupinian that was kind of shitting himself, if I can say that on YouTube. A Bartesaghi that was on the same vibes. De Winter always on the same vibes. But the second half, almost the opposite, right? Team talk, we came out and we started attacking. We brought in numbers. We obviously scored a goal, and then we readjusted a little bit. What do you think about this? Do you think is a tactic, or is just the nature of playing with not a starting 11 that we usually want?
I think
And then
I
tell me
think
what you
it's
think about the mid-block comment from
yeah.
John Clark.
I think it's I can answer it sort of in both questions in the same answer. I think it's the latter, that it's sort of a game of circumstance. And John Clark, I think you are right that the game was not that bad in the sense that you have to see the circumstances were given. Um, I shouldn't say this season alone has produced exciting games for us necessarily. We've seen the odd, really absolute dominance of a 3-0 against Udinese. I keep bringing that up every game, every podcast. That's the peak, I think, in terms of footballing, pure footballing performance, where it was a gripping 90 minutes. We dominated, we played nice football, possession based, but also solid at the back, created chances, etc. But yeah, end of the day, we are, I shouldn't say lucky, but we're exceeding expectations, being second so far into the season, with the unlucky injuries, some suspensions, illnesses. Now, I'm not saying that Milan is the only team in the Serie A with these circumstances, but we are perhaps expecting a lot more of this Milan team, expecting it in a that expecting that we should play better, when in reality we're being actually a lot better than we should in a way. So I can agree with John Clark that it wasn't that bad. It's 3 points. We are patching up holes with certain players playing out of position. When was the last time we played 3 consecutive games with the same starting strikers? We just haven't, right? It's been a combo of Pulisic or Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We've had Nkunku, Jimenez to start the season, Leao in and out, players coming in. I should maybe even rushed back from injury necessarily. Like
Yeah,
we
absolutely. I
we
mean,
have everyone.
sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
sorry, I'll let you.
No, no,
I'll
no. Go
go ahead
ahead.
with
Go
mine.
ahead. I'll go after.
Yeah, no, I mean like players like Pulisic and Leao, uh, coming in and out of injury, maybe different injuries, but they've been slaughtered on the pitch. Hopefully, Fullkrug. He's not been playing much for West Ham, but maybe he gives us some continuity. We know that Santa Jimenez will be out until what, and April probably. Nkunku hot to end the year against Verona. Boom, injury.
Yeah,
Not a long term one, but
it's
I don't
crazy.
know. Yeah. So it's a mix of things. Can't blame Allegri. The tactics Allegri puts the team in is to win games. End of the day, and we won this one.
Yeah, I honestly agree for most of it. It looks like they're really bad or maybe good, depending. Maybe they don't want to tip their hands. So I was discussing with this Martino. with telling us the details of the injuries. So we don't really know, but it seems like Pulisic has been playing pretty much only the minutes that he has to, clearly, I think.
Yeah.
Every game he's been scoring and then being pulled. Um, Rafa Leao was the same today. You can see that he didn't have the sprint, scored,
Yeah.
immediately gets up. Pulisic got barely the minimum minutes that he could have afforded. Same with Gabbia, of course. Smart moves, I thought, to sort of bring them to though at the end. Um, the team also a message of, hey, finish it strong. I think even Fofana probably wouldn't have started today if everyone was healthy. Um, Definitely would have gotten some minutes, but he's still coming back. Um, and yeah, this brought us Fullkrug. What impressions did the big man leave on you? Number 9 jersey, the curse.
Number nine. I don't know if we can do this podcast or next one. We'll get into our number nine curse that we Milanisti all know far too well. Neither here nor there. He seemed pretty stiff, and yeah. Hopefully, we'll be able to see a proper number nine. He is born and bred German tank striker. We saw him pretty stiff. Hopefully, his touch isn't too heavy. Hopefully, he'll be able to give Leao or Pulisic, whoever he's partnered up with, more space because he is a presence on the pitch. You can clearly see that. The guy hasn't played much for West Ham this season, coming in. Although we've known for a while, of course, that he was going to sign for Milan. It's not that he was necessarily everything was within 48 hours. We knew even before Christmas that he was going to sign for us, and then it just had to be official. We knew that he was going to be on the bench, and it's only the 2nd of January, so things moved quickly, and he had some time to play with the team, but the man has moved from the German league to the Premier League to the Serie A. Those are three different types of um, of styles of play, regardless whether it's Dortmund, whether it's West Ham, or if it's AC Milan. So hopefully he'll just have the knack of scoring that he had at Dortmund, and especially that for him quite somewhat magical summer for the German national team. All we need is him to be a fox in the box and to keep defenders occupied with his size.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're spot on, right? What we're hoping for is that German version of Fullkrug, someone who knows his
Yeah,
role, is able to come off the bench, who comes in with the extra pep in his step and just has the vibe of I'm gonna win every header in the box and get some goals. Um, Obviously today it's such a weird game. He didn't
yeah,
get involved too much, but already just the communication. I think then obviously coming in with Pulisic also helped him. Um,
yeah.
just looks a
Pulisic
lot
probably
better.
knows a word or two in German.
This is true. Um, but it's got to be so much better. It looked better than with Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah,
I think Leao is going to benefit a lot of this. And much like at the beginning of the season when Santi Jimenez wasn't setting the world on fire and having great games, but Milan looked at its best with Santi Jimenez, not because directly of the contribution, but just because of how Pulisic and Leao could play off of him, and the chance creation we were doing, and the sort of runs that a striker naturally does, even
yeah.
if not great strikers like and not in form Santi and a full crew could be. Um, we will see. I was gonna say, are you looking forward to seeing everyone healthy? As you said, it's a roulette with Milan.
Yeah.
Last game, it looked like Leao was out, and we was just trying to see if we can get him back, and Pulisic and Kuku were good to go. That was completely
Hmm.
flipped on its head. So we will see who we
Yeah.
get. Shame for
I
Chris.
think
This would have been a great game for him to play after the 2 goals and get some continuity. But it is it is
Yeah.
what it
Uh,
is, pretty much.
I think it's a massive shame for us that, of course, having all these injuries and all of them overlapping or being, Leao's been injured when Pulisic's been healthy and vice versa. I think it's a shame that we're out of the Coppa Italia and that we didn't have a full squad properly against Napoli in the semi-final of the Supercoppa, because we've stuck to this 3-5-2. Allegri clearly has players that he wants to play certain positions. Now that we have a proper nine in Fullkrug, how are we going to be playing him with either Pulisic or Leao? Is it going to be a season long of substituting Leao for Pulisic and that they're injured at different times? Do we want to keep Fullkrug on the bench for him to be a type of super sub? Do we want to switch to a 4-3-3? I saw a lot on Twitter saying, why on earth are we not playing a 4-3-3 when when even before, like for the second half, I think it was during the halftime break, a lot of Milan fans were saying, get this man Purvis off the pitch, put Bartisagi at left back, try to move back Selemakers to a right back role and put Pulisic in with Fullkrug so that we can play a 4-3-3. It's a shame we don't have the time, we don't have the resources to either experiment or to build a second a plan B. But I kind of wish, and I'm going back on what my word on what you asked me. Is it Allegri's fault that we're playing this type of football? I kind of wish we see a plan B. Maybe my football analytic brain perhaps isn't good enough to see the tweaks. It does seem though at halftime that he does changes for the better or worse. He tries something new. Either we concede straight away or we score a goal.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's not the same Milan coming onto the pitch for the second half of most games. So that's the only worry, but also benefit that we have with Allegri.
Yeah. And I think that reflects to the whole team and also individual players. I think if you look like in Kunku's performances, you see a lot of bad and mediocre across the board, but a lot of like fully invisible first halves. And the second halves, obviously, that's very clear with the game where he scored. But also the others, the ones where he said, in the second half, he started doing a few touches, can get a bit more involved. And I think he's the clear example, but there's others. So, yeah, we'll have to see. Quick look at the chat. Our Montana friend confirms that there's no clubs out there, no Milan clubs in Montana, that he just watches games with his best friend who's an Arsenal fan. And he's a Milan fan. I would love to know if you're a born and raised Montana Milan fan, and how did that happen? Did you get into football at the time where we were dominating and you saw Kaká? Or is there some
I'm
Italian
not sure,
heritage maybe?
or I'm not sure where Onyewu is from in the US, but maybe he's from Montana. Could have
Fair,
been
fair.
that
Oh,
link.
I guess Pulisic has been in club for long enough that it could be some Pulisic effect as well.
True. Yeah. That's true.
About the game though, what else? What else stood out? I think you mentioned a lot of people saying Pervis. Yeah, he just looks very scared. I think he could be decent. We saw that at the beginning of the season it was rough, and then he got a few decent games. So I think it's definitely another confidence thing, and
Yeah.
definitely not in a system where everyone all in a proper healthy XI like this was rough. The first 10 minutes were really rough, but for him and for everyone, I think the first 90 seconds were rough for him from what I saw already, a couple of missed assignments. But he, it doesn't help when he's scared. Bartesagi's there. I thought he looked good overall, but in the beginning, a little bit over careful, a lot of pointing, a little hesitant with the Winter, who's also wasn't great. What did you think of Pervis, but also the other two and how they did?
Yeah, we're playing Bartisagi now in the what's it called, Braccetto role, sort of left center back all of a sudden, and then yeah, Stupinan does look scared. He loses balls quite easily. He's neither attacking nor defending. He doesn't benefit either. With Theo Hernandez, I think we're banging an old drum here that we've said before. But Theo Hernandez, at least in the first 2-3 seasons, he was purely attacking and he was the world's best at it. And then he turned, he balanced his game out more, and you could say he was good in both ends. What does Pervis add to this team more than being on a game sheet? Honestly, I'm just say fed up. We didn't lose the game, but it goes back to Furlani and his investments. Jesus Christ, honestly, how on earth have we ended up with one of the world's best left backs, selling him only for 25 million? Everyone's complaining about the price tag. He was on an expiring deal. We both knew that the team wanted him out, and Theo Hernandez needed to find a place to play. It ended up, luckily for us, in Saudi Arabia, so we don't have to watch him week in, week out, playing either against us in the Serie A
Yeah.
or dominating the Champions League, which I'm happy about. But he ended the year with a brace in the Saudi League. I'm not going to chat too much about the Saudi League, but it's just mind-boggling how we've downgraded with him. when we've somehow upgraded in certain other positions.
And the price tag for
It's so
Estupiñán hurts
frustrating.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
looking
And
steep.
I don't know what kind of deal he signed for us, but we're stuck with that contract, uh, and you just know that we're gonna try to milk Bartisagi to the very end, and then a big mediocre offer is going to come from a Premier League team, and they're going to quadruple his wages, and off he goes. That's another Milan protege, another, I should say, Maldini protege, because that's the hardest to replicate. But a homegrown player, Italian,
Yeah.
young and promising, off at 21, 22. Just I can just see it happening.
Yeah, the issue, I would say they wouldn't, but the issue is that, yeah, with a homegrown player, the finance looks too good. And whenever the financial bottom line looks great, we know what sort of management is going to do. So I am
Yeah,
really scared about this summer. It is a nice player for Arteta to play wing back, another tall, defending-minded player. So the rumors of the Arsenal Premier League calls um, do have
yeah,
me
oh yeah.
pretty scared. Um, Overall, I
They
thought
love
today,
they love their defenders. What is it, like almost 400 million pounds spent on defenders last
yeah,
2 seasons?
I know Arteta's already looking at if he can buy Bartesaghi and play him as false nine up there. Really not, a good free kick taker and good corner taker. So that's also plays into the Arsenal links.
Yeah,
Um,
Merino at center, central striker, Zubimendi at right wing, and Bartisagi at left wing.
Trident of dreams.
Well,
But I thought today he did well. He did start a little bit scared, but overall was okay. He had a few missed passes,
he
but
was.
I think there was a lot of talks from Milan fans about the possibility of seeing him as that braccetto because he's able to go forward without being super attacking, good cross on him. But his best qualities are also being good defender, being so tall. So it's good to get those games under his belt, especially if we can get, which is a big if, Pervis to a decent level like he was maybe game 4 or 5 of the season, because we're so thin in the back. Um, were you surprised to see no Jashari or in the subs, or any of the subs that sort of shocked you or surprised you?
No, I think if you look at who we subbed and when we subbed them, you can see on the screen there we subbed Fofana and Leao off in the 69th. I'm trying to remember what order. I should have said it's because I'm tired, but was it Pulisic came on,
Pulisic and Gabbia
Fullkrug
then came
came
on
on.
at the same time in the 79th minute.
Yeah, so it was more of a person that like we it might not be a straight up sub, but then we switched around.
Yeah, within 10
I think
minutes.
I
Yeah.
think it's quite clear that Jashari is, and I think Martino Puccio highlighted this in one of his streams, one of his tweets for another podcast. Shout out to him saying that we won't. I don't think we'll see much of Jashari if Modric is playing because he's going to be playing that sort of number 6 role. That's what seems to be envisioned. Ricci is more likely to come on for either Rabiot, Fofana, and be sort of holding hands with Modric. The only
Mm-hmm.
time we'll see Jashari, I think, the next few games at least, will be when Modric is subbed out. In a game like this, where you're only 1-0 up after the 50th minute, it looks like we're going to keep Ricci coming on, maybe because he's a better ball. He's better, I shouldn't say better on the ball, but can hold it a bit better and isn't perhaps that, yeah. I think we'll see less of Jashari if for some reason Allegri changes his mind and isn't a straight up sub for Modric.
Yeah, agreed. And I think this confirms that if in a game like this where there are so many missing bodies, he can't see the game. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong. Again, all the subs, I think Allegri actually nailed it um, today in
Yeah,
general with the
yeah,
subs. I think Leao was, as I said, minimum possible in the minutes that he could play, scored a goal, up 1-0, get him out. I think that was the sort of
yeah.
medical order almost. Richie for Fofana makes sense. It was also a little bit hurt and tired. And then, as you said, within 10 minutes, we were back to a 3-5-2. Bartesaghi back in his position. I
Yeah,
I already mentioned it, liked bring Pulisic and Gabi on. Gives them some minutes, first of all, as they come back. And also sends a message to the team of, you could put in some maybe youngsters and say, hey, we really go back. But it's like, no, we still have 2 strikers. We're trying to finish this game off. Even if we don't score the second, we're trying to control the pace and attack and, just run out the 90 minutes, not panicking, as we often do, but controlling it a little bit more. Now, obviously, beautiful thing of playing or winning on a Friday, first game. Put on some pressure.
Yeah,
Back at the top of the league, 2 points ahead of Inter and 4 ahead of Napoli, with obviously their games ahead. And January is going to come thick and fast with games. How do we feel as Milan fans for this set of games? The first ones, these ones weren't too bad, but we're already going to be playing. Who do we play next?
Genoa.
Genoa next, right? Yeah.
Yeah, in like 6 days. Yeah,
And then actually, let me pull this up. Perfect.
it's
Yeah,
yeah, it's
Genoa,
Genoa,
Fiorentina,
Fiorentina,
Co-
Como in Italy. Thank God,
Como in Italy. Yeah. And all of those
and
are,
then
less than a week, because I think there's the middle week is I think the Como one, because it's generally 11th, 15th, and then 14th, and then 18th for Lecce,
Yeah, yeah,
before having Roma, Bologna, Como, which is, you know, some tough games.
yeah. How do I feel? I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, chances
hopefully
the Scudetto chances obviously rise out to 3 points, but and we'll see
it does.
what the others do, because I think there's some spicy games. Inter is definitely
It's
playing Atalanta, which hopefully takes some points.
Yeah, this Milan team is a bit of a roller coaster of emotions and expectations. I think, what was it, a month ago? We were, I think I was saying at least, oh, thank God we're playing against easier opposition. I can't remember what game was beforehand. I was saying this, but like, I want them to be dominating after we'd played, what was it, Inter, Juve, Roma, Atalanta, all in a row. And then we're getting some easy opposition, and then we just shit the bed. Can I say this? Well,
Yeah, I think so.
we have an accident in the bed. We have an accident in the bed with
That's gonna be the
easier on
title of the
paper.
replay.
Accidents in the bed against easier opposition where we didn't dominate. We even dropped points. And then all of a sudden, against Verona, Hellas Verona, I think we're both skeptical. We're like, oh, this is going to be a tough one. 3-0 victory, even after a bit of a dodgy start.
Hmm.
Now we win against Cagliari, even though they all respect to them, they didn't play a very good game either. So,
Yeah, not
do you
much,
know what I
not much
mean?
from them.
It's a bit like Hellas Verona. So we're just relying on bad teams playing poorly,
This is true.
and then
This is true.
getting 6 out of 6 points here. So it's almost impossible to predict when we have properly our back against the wall against bad teams with injuries, making changes to our starting 11. We get the job done. But when we have a almost fully fit starting 11 and our best players available, we somehow decide to lose points against them. So
Yeah. And
it's
also, let's
really, I
hope we
shouldn't say
get. I
impossible,
don't
but
know. I used to be. It feels like we spent half a season saying, "Oh, wait," it used to be wait until Leo comes back, and then injured Pulisic. When as
yeah.
soon as Leo comes back, and it's wait until Pulisic comes back, and they still have just started only one game together. And then we had the little midfield crisis, and now we have the midfield this, but now the defense and the strikers are off.
And then
I
Kunko
hope,
scores a brace, and now he's
and
injured.
it's injured exactly. I hope we actually get
Christ.
this. Just look at some of the stats. Yeah, I mean, Cagliari was not much. And again, this is part of the Allegri black magic, right? Hold the ball, move it around, but not even too fast. Just be in control. I think they had the sort of flurry in the first 10 minutes of our mistakes, but 0.3 expected goals. I'm just looking at the stats now. One shot on target, 4 shots off target. Just you
Yeah.
know, not much.
Yeah,
Now
I
we
think it
weren't
was
much either, so we needed this. But uh, to your point, yeah, we're playing down to competitions a lot.
yeah, and they had, what was it, 7 points in the last 4 games, which was against Torino, 3 points, Pisa 1 point, lost against Atalanta but beat Roma, so they're
Ooh, very
just
nice.
upwards. But that's 7 important points that they've claimed,
Yeah.
being towards the bottom half of the table. So
Look at you, how we prepare with the stats. I love it.
it's
Um,
great when
yeah.
I have a
Any
very
players from
complete
them
story.
that you liked
I think the
or
first
that stood
half,
out? Maybe not.
Palestra, yeah, Palestra,
Yeah,
it
there's much talk
was,
about him as being the future of Italy, seeing if he should be called up to the national team already,
yeah.
either for the playoffs or if, God willing, we make this damn World Cup.
Mhm.
Um, I
Yeah, I
think
thought he was
Atalanta owns
impressed
him
me.
and he's on loan, but he's looking good.
Exactly. Yeah, and then that's one of is it him being very good, or is it just Stupinian being hopeless. Do you know what I mean? And Bartisaki kind of playing out of position because that's
Yeah,
where did his damage, right?
yeah,
I guess him, yeah. Otherwise, Cagliari were quite lackluster, I thought.
yeah.
Again, like us.
Esposito sort of fought a little bit. He's not as good as brother, but seems like again for a young age could be some more promising. Otherwise, yeah, I like Adopo. I don't think he had a great game. Again, they were uh, pretty harmless, pretty toothless throughout.
Mm.
And I think maybe a Ray Prati. I don't know. As an Italian, I tried to look at those. Doesn't look great. Doesn't look bad, like decent, but looks middle of the table Serie A.
Yeah, yeah.
No, so I think he's still young. How old is he? Let me check. View profile. Yeah, 22. So, still could improve and maybe could sneak something better. But we'll see. Only Salemaker's got booked, which is nice. Only one yellow card. And we definitely didn't need Tomori to get booked with our current center back situation. He's the only one I think
He
at
is a
risk of
funny
skipping the
bloke.
game. He had a little bit of, if I remember, a little bit of a whiff. That scared me at some point, but it led to nothing. Beyond that, I think we can wrap up soon. Let me check again the chat. RCR from Montanas, and they're both Italian, so good. Partizagi, big fan of the kids' energy and passion. Yeah, I think
More,
there's
we need more of that.
yes, a lot of that Milanista, pure Milanista energy, and fight. A lot of times that will
Mhm.
win you the hearts of the fans. Even if the football mistakes sometimes are there. You look at a player like Cutrone, who
Mhm.
in a
Very
Bante
true.
era was never scores some important goals, but never an incredible striker. But I think every Milanista has a warm place in their heart for players like Patrick Cutrone, and it looks like Partizag is following in the Cutrone steps, in the Tonali steps, and all that. So we love to see that. 20 concurrent viewers, thank you so much. Drop a like and subscribe if you're up on this stream. Um, Anything else from this game, Ozzy, that stood out to you
From this game, something
or
that's not
wanted
really
to
got
talk
to do with
about?
the game. I'm sick, and I know we've had these advertisements that are I assume a graphic overlay because it depends on where you're watching it from. I'm watching it on Swedish TV. TV4, don't come after me. I do live in Switzerland, but I use my grandmother's address for my account and pay too much money. But anyways, that overlay with the orange ball. I know it wasn't a close. I think it was Bartasagi, not the second free kick that Modric took, but the first free kick in the second half that he took. That was kind of going on target. It wasn't particularly dangerous. You could see that the goalkeeper was going to save it, but the goalkeeper's hands and arms just disappeared along with the ball with the
Yeah,
advertisement board. And I'm just like, where is it? And all of a sudden, I just see it being batted out towards a corner flag. I just hate that.
yeah, it
I'm sick of
happens
it.
so often.
I'm
It
so
is
sick of it.
so
Yeah.
annoying.
We don't have like we've got thick walls here and ceilings and stuff, but I'm sure my neighbors have heard me shout at just a really harmless chance, just going, and then just seeing the ball like 50 meters away from the goal being bounced out
Yeah,
out of
you
play.
just you just
That's
lose
my only
track of it.
complaint. That's one thing.
I think maybe that's also why they started bringing in the orange ball, new
That's
orange
not
ball in
helping
Serie
with.
A.
It's not helping with the yellow advertisement.
This is true, yeah. But from the
Yeah,
pitch, I
yeah,
did
yeah.
hear that there was an official complaint from the colorblind association in Italy, because obviously a lot of the major colorblindness are
Okay, I can
sort
imagine.
of red and green. So the orange ball
Yeah.
on the green pitch was quite annoying apparently, which is just I don't know hilarious to me. Not the colorblind part, but just the peak Italy in making getting wrong given this silly stupid decisions like these.
Yeah, I'm no eye specialist or sight specialist, but I've from a very young age I've understood that colorblind people will that green and red slash or a dark orange. That's the worst combo, right?
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
we have
and
a friend
it's
of ours, friend of the podcast, Ben did a draft with us, who's colorblind. So I actually want to, maybe I should text him. I'll text him about this. See if you have any trouble watching the games.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and one of my professors at university, he is the CEO of Accessible, which is I shouldn't say a charity, but they work a lot about making football accessible for people with disabilities in general. They've partnered with Atletico Madrid and stuff,
Oh,
being certifying stadiums. I'm sure that he's probably not watching this. Olivier, shout out Olivier Yarosh,
shut up,
but
Olivier.
this is kind of stuff he should be fighting for, and that he's been fighting for years with excessive ball. Yeah, it's kind of mind-boggling, to be honest. I shouldn't say luckily, but I'm gifted that I can be able to watch a game without being able to mix colors up like that. And this is, yeah, it's pretty terrible.
You are definitely
Serie
gifted.
A is Lega Serie A is just terrible, anyways.
Yeah, they seem
Let's
like
not get
oftentimes
into all
they
the
get
let's
in
not
their
get
own way.
into all the complaints about about racism, etc., and how they've decided to market how they're fighting it. Uh,
Yeah.
I think
And speaking of races, Acerbi seems might be on the way out. Did you see this? They might be getting Cancelo. Man, sometimes I wish we had Marotta. It's crazy. It's
that's I'm sorry, that switch up from racism to Cherry to then Cancelo is
I'm the
fantastic. I
king of
love it.
segues. What can I say? The
It's the
racism makes me
king.
think. What do you think of the latest Mercato news? You only
Yes,
get this
yes,
on the late night post games podcast.
yeah.
No, this is a question though I want to talk about, but before Niche on the chat, also big complaint about the poor contrast settings on the broadcast. I heard this man knows ball. This is the reason why Serie A, the only reason why Serie A has less viewers than Premier League is that the Premier League is the contrast cranked up.
But
Otherwise, we'd be
also,
the
I mean, the
dominant league.
Premier League had a 1-1, a 0-0, a 0-0, and a 0-0 yesterday.
I
I'm
know a lot of
surprised you know how to pronounce this name, Nawiza. I thought I would have called it Nawiza.
maybe sorry, I'm reading. Yeah, now he's not. Yeah, you're right. Now he's
Noisy,
read it wrong. It's
noisy,
really wrong.
noisy,
Noisy
noisy.
Gallagher Chew by the looks of it. Uh, Probably from Canada, if I were to guess. Maybe Montreal area, but you
Probably,
let us
yeah,
know.
probably, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But as you saw, Inter. It looks like Acerbi is on the way out, and they're bringing Cancelo in for free for 6 months on a possible loan. I'm sure the salary will be high, but man, Marotta,
He moves quick.
he moves quick and he moves so well. Can you imagine just bringing in a player like caliber of Cancelo? And there's rumors about, of course, he can be a tricky personality, and now a couple teams he's falling out with all this. But in January,
Yeah,
finding a
he's
player for free, the quality of Cancelo, before a World Cup year, so he's gonna, ball out. It's just such a vet move
yeah,
to go back to New Year. Yeah, I mean,
vet move.
sometimes I hate the man because I truly do think he's come not only because of Inter and Juve, but also because of some of the dealings and stuff he says. But when we bring in Fullkrug and are not linked to any defender, man, I'm jealous a little bit.
We got snubbed from Udinese apparently for that Colombian defender, right? Apparently they
Yes,
came
yes,
in.
yes. I mean, I had no idea who he is.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I can't say
s-
like, oh my God, how
yeah.
dare we get snubbed by
So
Udinese? I'm like,
apparently we
okay, but
wanted to drop him off, and he didn't want to be dropped off to Toulouse. And then there was a problem with also him being outside the EU, so the extra registration. But yeah, he's going to Udinese, and I
well,
have no doubt he will set the world on fire as well. Now,
late night dad joke to any single ladies watching this. I'm not a father, but late
not
night
yet.
dad joke. He's actually going to Udinese to lose.
Oh, this is late night stream quality. This is why you tune in. Everyone watching, because of that, please leave a like. We got way more of that, where that came from. Nishan from Elmtiana, another Canadian
Yeah.
apparently, agrees with the comment of Noisy from above in terms of contrast. Shout out to both of you two fellas. Um,
There might be two people from Montreal in this
I
chat
know.
though.
One from Montana, two from Montreal. I don't know where our boy
We're
John Clark is
international.
from, but international. I know Milan's own. Maybe we're breaking barriers. We're bringing Milan everywhere. If someone from Milan is watching this, we are exporting a beautiful game in the beautiful colors to so many people across the world. Reach out. Let's collaborate. Um,
We'll take any Twitch and YouTube revenue to AC Milan so we could sign a proper centre back with experience.
yes, yes, yes. Put us on the channels. We'll attract all this audience, and the genuine mercato and the sincere innovation are on us. Anyway, I think we could leave it here. This was a solid
Yeah,
first attempt at reaction. Some good
fun.
numbers. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I think we'll start doing this more if there's people tuning in and chatting. So we appreciate that. Um, I'll actually do this live. I don't know if anyone from Instagram is watching, but we did win 1-0. So let's check live how many people guessed the result. If any of
What
you,
did you what did you predict? Because I
I,
don't think we had a podcast before this.
we did not. I did it with Martino. I want to say he said
Oh, sorry. Yes.
2-0, 2-1 for you. So
Yeah.
that counts as zero production. So I don't think he got it. Uh, actually, he might have said. I need to go back. He might have said 1-0 Leao,
Oh my God.
which is wild.
He's replacing me in
But it's
2026
late. I
already.
forgot. And I want to say I
Yeah.
said. I want to say I said 2-0. But let's see.
Anyways,
Oh, there's a couple cheeky people trying to get the result after the game. Oh, I see
I
one,
mean,
two. Let's do this quick. I think only two people have gotten. Yes, two people. You said 2-1. I see.
that's so good.
Two people gotten it. We'll post those. Oh no, three. For anyone you're watching, go like Instagram page if you happen to not be from there, which is unlikely. Every game we put out 24 hours before a question to our lovely followers who submits game predictions, and then we'll give you a shout out if you get it right.
We've been slacking on this podcast the last 3, 4, 5 games. We need to get back into the
In
swing
terms
of
of run
things.
predictions, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
did I get one this year right? I feel like it's been mostly you, Kieran.
Yeah, you have. No, you certainly have. I think at the
Okay,
beginning of
okay,
the
okay.
season we were switching quite frequently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, more wins, hopefully to come. Usually that's what we predict. We'll save our predictions for Genoa, on the proper
Let us.
podcast. Will we get the full microphone experience and sit down and the analysis that you're all waiting for, and all the
And
segments.
I will Yeah, and I will be giving a number 9 Curse of the Number 9 breakdown, and we're gonna do a flip and flop in the sense of like were they good, were they bad, were they okay, and we'll do a 2016-2017 squad list of saying whether they break our starting 11 or even would have any good impact on our team right now, because we've got a squad depth almost as bad as back then, but we have some key players that are a lot better than back then, so
Very
that'll
true.
be interesting.
I love this. New year, a lot of new content. Everyone tune in. We already have some loose segments on the proper podcast. Could say that again.
Shout out Mr. and Mrs. Lewis.
Mr. and Mrs. Lewis in the family. But we'll work on doing some more. I think we have, Stefano's highly underrated player of the game. We'll decide that tomorrow. We have Oscar's pessimistic corner. And I think we should end some of these streams with some trivia or some games. We can alternate, take turns if you want. That's not a
Certainly.
bad idea. But we wrap it up here.
Let's
The
wrap
boys
it
get
up.
the win, 3 points,
Always
top of
wrap
the
it up.
league. Thank
Yeah.
you to everyone tuning in the late night stream. We appreciate you. Thank you everyone who contributed in the chat. It's nice to, as much as I love talking to you, Oscar, it's nice to also talk to our lovely subscribers and not to ourselves, just to ourselves. We'll see you likely tomorrow for the podcast, do we stream live the podcast, Ozzy, or do we record it? What do you think?
I think we do it live.
There's
Maybe
the
we
good
get a
interaction.
few
Yes, I think we can keep
get
it
people
live.
from Montreal, Montana, who are from Pennsylvania. We get John Clark maybe back if it's a decent, I want to say,
Time
US
zone.
hour or North American time zone. Yeah. So let's do it live. Why not?
F it, we'll do a live, famous meme. Yeah, then I wish you a good night and Sogni
Thank
d'Oro.
you.
And as always, Forza Milan.
Forza Milan.